Welcome back class 6 to the online bio classes. Since your unit test starts from this Monday only, so we are not going to start or continue with the third chapter which we had already started. So what we'll do now is we'll try to do revision for the unit test. That is your syllabus, if you are not, those who are not aware of the syllabus for your unit test is chapters 1 and 2. So read chapter 1 and 2 thoroughly from your book. Already you have purchased the book. So you have each and every, like chapter 1 is the leaves, in which you have to study about root system. You know that a plant has two main parts. That part of the plant which grow above the soil is called the shoot system. And the part of the plant which grow below the soil forms the root system. So root system has certain characteristics. What are they? Like roots are positively geotropic. The word geo means earth, tropic means movement. Because the roots grow towards the soil, towards the gravity or the earth, that is why it is called positively geotropic. Whereas the stem or the shoot system grow above the soil, that's why they are called negatively geotropic. Then the other characters are the root system contains different types of roots. They are not green in color because they do not contain chlorophyll, but they help to fix the plant to the soil. They are positively hydrotropic. Hydro means water. Because the roots grow in search of water inside the soil, they are called positively hydrotropic. And the stems or the shoots are called negatively hydrotropic. Then we have functions of root system. You should learn what are the functions of root system. Number 1, it helps to fix the plant to the soil. Number 2, it absorbs water and minerals from the soil. And number 3, it also helps to act as an organ of food storage, where the food is stored because we eat the roots of some plants. Then there are two types of root system. What are they? Tap root system and fibrous root system. We have already studied about them. Tap root system is the one in which there is a main thick root from which the many secondary roots will arise, okay? And from where the tertiary roots will arise, and then the root hairs will be present, okay? It is found mostly in the dicot plant, whereas fibrous root system is the one in which many roots of equal length and size arises from the base of the stem. They are of same size. They are just like a bunch, okay? And it is found mostly in the monocot plants. So differences between taproot and fibrous root system you can learn. Like taproot system is the one which is found in dicot plants, and fibrous root system is the one which is found in monocot plants. Then we studied about the shoot system, which consists of different organs like stem. It consists of branches, it consists of leaves, flowers, fruits, all are present. Now what is axil? Axil means like if this is the branch, one leaf arises from here. The angle which is present between this leaf and the stem is called axil, leaf axil, where the nodes are present. Okay. Then next we have to study about the functions of stem. What are the functions of stem? Number 1, it helps to support the plant. It helps to carry the water and minerals from the roots to all parts of the plant. And because the leaves are present in the stem, it helps to prepare food by photosynthesis. And the green stems also help to produce food by photosynthesis, because some plants, the stems are very thin and green in color, so they can carry out photosynthesis. Then we studied about the leaf. What are the different parts of the leaf? The stalk of the leaf, this one, is known as petiole. What is it called? Petiole. So practice to draw the diagram of leaf and label all the parts. Like this one is called the midrib. Then what are they called? They are known as the veins. Okay, this one is known as leaf apex or the tip. Okay, this one is called the midrib. So practice drawing the diagram and know the function of the entire leaf blade. This one is known as leaf blade, or also known as lamina, 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 okay, or leaf blade. And this one is called the margin of the leaf. Here it is smooth. In some leaves it may be like this also. The leaves may not be straight. Okay, the margin is not clear. So what are the parts of leaf? Number 1, petiole. Petiole is the stalk of the leaf. by which the leaf is attached to the stem. Then what is leaf blade? The flat expanded portion of the leaf is called leaf blade. Then what is leaf margin? Leaf margin is the side of the leaf, or the edges of the leaf is called leaf margin. Okay. Leaf apex is the tip of the leaf is called leaf apex. Then how many types of leaves are there? Two types. What are they? Simple leaf and compound leaf. What is simple leaf? A leaf in which the lamina is not, this is the lamina, it is not divided. And if it is divided also, the divisions do not reach up to the midrib. They are called simple leaf. Like this is a simple leaf. But if you take the example of compound leaf, it is like this. Many small leaves are present. Okay. This is a compound leaf. As you can see in the neem plant also, compound leaf has many small leaves. They are known as leaflets. Okay. And this middle one is called rachis, R-A-C-H-I-S. Actually, it was one simple leaf only, but it was, the lamina was cut into many small leaflets. Okay. By the division of lamina, the entire leaf margin was cut into smaller leaflets. Okay. Then next is differences between simple and compound leaf. You can learn, like simple leaf, the lamina is not divided. This is the lamina, it is not divided. But here in compound leaf, it is divided into smaller leaflets. Okay. Then what are the arrangement of leaves? There are three modes of arrangement of leaves. Means how the leaves are attached to the stem. Number one is alternate arrangement. Alternate arrangement means, suppose this is the stem, one leaf is present here. This part of the stem from where the leaf arises, this is called node. N-O-D-E. So other leaf will arise in the other direction, like one leaf will be in this direction. Okay. So this is called alternate. Means from one node only one leaf will arise only in one direction. Then we have opposite arrangement. In opposite arrangement, like if this is a node, one leaf will be there on either side in opposite direction. This is called alternate arrangement of leaves. And the third one was whorled arrangement of leaves. Whorled means like if this is the node, from here many leaves can arise. Okay, like this, many leaves will be there in a whorl or in a circle. 4 or 5 leaves, all like in a circle it will be. That is called whorl. Okay, it is found in lilium. Then comes venation in leaves. What is venation? The arrangement of veins on the surface. This is the mid vein, this is the side vein. So how the veins are arranged? This arrangement of veins is called venation. So there are two types of venation. What are they? Reticulate venation, in which network-like structure is there, in which many veins, venlets are there. They form a net-like structure. In parallel venation, if this is the leaf, all the veins are parallel to each other like this. That is called parallel venation. It is found in monocot plants, like banana plant. You can see the leaf, parallel venation of leaves is there. And this one you can see in mango plant, that we have the reticulate venation. So next we have to study about functions of leaves. What are the functions of leaf? Number one, it helps to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, you know what is photosynthesis? The process by which green parts of the plant help to change carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll. In the presence of carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll, it prepares food, that is glucose and oxygen. So oxygen is produced as a byproduct. Okay. Then what are the modifications of leaves? Sometimes the leaves are modified or changed to carry out different types of functions. Like in case of pea plant, the leaves changes into tendril thread-like structure. Why? So that they can climb and provide support to the plant to climb onto a support. Because their stem is very thin and very weak, so they cannot stand straight. That's why they need, the leaves are modified for protection. In some places we find like the leaves are changed into spines, like thorns, like this, very sharp and pointed. Why? In order to provide protection to the plant from grazing animals. Okay. Then some leaves are modified to store food, like in case of onion, it is the fleshy scale leaves which helps to store food. Then leaf is modified for eating insect also, like in insectivorous plants. Okay. And leaves are also used for vegetative propagation, that is, from the surface of leaves many new baby plants can grow, and these plants can germinate into a new plant, like bryophyllum. Okay. Then we'll discuss about the second chapter. So first chapter revision is complete. Okay, now The next chapter number 2, which is also there in your syllabus, read from inside the book all the details. What are the different parts of the flower? What is a flower? Flower is the reproductive part of the plant. Okay, it is a modified shoot in which nodes and internodes are highly condensed. Like the stalk of the flower is known as pedicel. So if I draw, this is the pedicel, the stalk of the flower. The tip of the pedicel is somewhat swollen. It is known as thalamus or receptacle. So this one is called thalamus or receptacle. Okay, what is the function of pedicel? It helps to attach the flower to the stem, and thalamus, the tip of the pedicel which is swollen, its function is to, it is the base where all the floral leaves are also known as whorls. So what is whorls? If I am saying a flower has 4 parts mainly, what are the 4 parts of the flower? Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Androecium, and the 4th one is gynoecium. Gynoecium means, gyna means female part, male part. This is the colorful leaves, and this is the outermost wall. Okay, so outermost wall is leaf-like structures which are known as calyx, and this unit is known as sepals. S-E-P-A-L-S. So many sepals together they form calyx. Then we have the colorful leaf-like structure which is known as petals. So here we have the colorful leaf-like structures called petals. Then we have the male part, that is the stamens, which consists of anther and filament. And finally we have the female part consisting of stigma, style, and finally a swollen ovary. Okay, so this is the structure of flower. You need to practice drawing it and labeling all the parts. Okay, then next we have to study what is the function of calyx. Calyx is made up of small leaves, green leaf-like structures called sepals. Its function is to provide protection to the inner walls of the flower, and because it is green in color, it also carry out photosynthesis. The function of this corolla, that is petals, many petals. What is petals? It is the part of corolla, the colorful leaves. It attracts insect for pollination because it is of different colors. The sepals are called calyx. This is the outermost wall, and this one is filament. This one is anther. Okay, anther. This one is called anther. This one is filament. Already I have done. You can see the previous video. Together they are known as stamen, the male part, and all the stamens together they form the androecium. Okay. Then next, what are the types of flower? Types of flowers. There are 2 types of flowers. What are they? Unisexual and bisexual flower. A flower in which either male or female part is present, means either the stamen or the carpel is present, such flower are called unisexual flower. But a flower in which both the male and female part, androecium and gynoecium, is present, they are called bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. Then what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grains. Now what is this pollen grains? Pollen grains are the male reproductive cells or gametes which are produced inside the anther. Okay, so transfer of pollens from the anther to the stigma is called pollination. 2 types of pollination are there. What are they? Self and cross pollination. Self pollination means transfer of pollen occurs within the same flower or between 2 flowers of the same plant, whereas cross pollination means there are 2 plants involved, in which the transfer of pollen occurs from one flower to the other in 2 different plants, not in the same plant. Then next, what are the agents of pollination? Agents means the different materials or different agents, those who help in the transfer of pollen grains are called agents. Like pollens can be transferred by wind, it can be transferred by water, animals, even human beings also. So if pollination is done by wind, in such plants the pollens are produced in large quantity, they are very small in size, they are light in weight, so they can be carried away by wind. If pollination is done by water in aquatic plants, the pollen grains are light in weight, they have a waxy coating, that is waterproof material is present around them. In pollination by animals, the pollen grains are produced in large, the pollen grains have certain sticky substance which stick on the body of animals. They are colorful also, the flowers are colorful, so that the animals can be attracted towards it, like the insects. Then what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Male gamete, that is the pollens, contain the male gamete, and female gamete is present inside the ovary, that is the egg. So fusion of the male gamete with the egg, that is the female gamete, is called fertilization. After fertilization, the ovary part of the flower changes into fruit and the ovules develop into seed. So what are the different parts of the fruit? Pericarp is a typical pericarp. Pericarp means the outermost covering of the seed is called pericarp. It is divided into three parts. What are they? Epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. And in the center we have the seed. The seed contains the baby plant which is known as embryo that can germinate into a new plant. Then we studied about the parts of a seed. What is seed coat? The outermost covering of seed is called seed coat, which gives protection to the seed. And embryo is the baby plant. It contains radicle. Radicle forms the root system. Plumule forms the shoot system. And cotyledon is the part of the seed where the food is stored, okay, for germination. What is endosperm? Endosperm is also a part of the seed in which stored food is found, okay. Now what is germination? The process by which a dormant embryo in a seed develops into a young plant is called germination. And what are the conditions required for a seed to germinate? The conditions required are water, oxygen and temperature, okay. So today up to here only, you revise your lesson nicely. I have already given revision of both the chapters, so prepare well for your unit test. Best of luck. Thank you.